Alright guys, so I'm gonna just go over all the stuff here. How will I put this? So I have a lot of content here I just want to cover. In terms of my assets, I have different kind of monsters, all the sprites essentially, player animation, um, different kind of UI stuff, particles. This is all kind of stuff I'm keeping with textures. I got it nice and organized now. Blueprints, I have AI. So this is kind of all the tasks and shit I give my AI. Going into one of these, for example. It tells you this is shooty, so for this is a task assigned to one of the eyes. It tells them where to shoot. So it gives them a vector on a blackboard, tells them to spawn at the blood ball in our general location, and it scales it, that kind of thing. I can kind of modify where exactly it's spawning. So yeah, these are just different kind of tasks that I've given. Find a player location, find a random location, and see if I want to have like a docile AI. Let's just go into a random location. I can give them this one, and it's just find a random vector somewhere, and yeah, different kind of stuff belong to different AI. In terms of enemies, here are the two enemies I have. So the eye guys, easy as that. On damage, apply damage. Is hurt, easy peasy. On death, so we kind of calculate what their current health is from their max health, and if that's true, they die. Here we set its rotation, so where it's looking at. So there's only two rotations they can take. So we flip them 180 on the x-axis, or here we're using Y because I'm using top down. We have different kind of flip books for him, so when he gets hit, when he's moving around, when he's attacking, when he's idle, so he does a little shaky thing. And yeah, so when he on spawn, he's gonna tell us how many enemies are alive, so I can kind of keep a value on how many enemies are alive, and I'm kind of making it like a game mode where I can count the enemies alive compared to killed and stuff. It'd be good for kind of this kind of survival game I'm building. And essentially the slime is going to look pretty much identical. We have its health bar above it. So since the slimes have multiple hit points, the eyes only have one. These guys, they have three. I have these widgets cast above them, and we can see once we get within an overlap point, we can see this health bar. So on the sphere here, there is a widget called health. I've put it right above here. You can't see it right now, but if I just show you guys, oh no, you can see now it looks pretty dark. But that's because I'm messing with the lighting. I'm messing with different kind of other stuff. But if I can find a portal, it does the exact same thing. So once we get in the portal's range, we can see a hit bar. So that's a nice little kind of trick that we can do. We have the enemy respawner, so I kind of just made this the portal. The portal is a bit more complex, as it needs to be able to increment the enemy spawn, count them, and there's two different kinds of enemies. So there's the eyes and the slimes, so we can count whether or not they spawn and whatnot. It's all kind of a test. It's not exactly code that's perfect, but it's working so far. It does seem to lag out the game if you spawn too many enemies. I think if it's like over 50 or so enemies, it does kind of hurt the game a bit, but I think that's just cause my coding is bad. So yeah, that's that. If we have a look, I've kind of coded a fake light. I might show you guys later what it does, but right now I just have a various things like the player character. I've also made this entire game on BluePrints. I'm not too great on the old scripting yet, but practice makes perfect, right? We have our different kind of things that we can do, the projectile, on damage and death. So here it's well, what we do when we get hit by different kind of things, so I can kind of control what happens when we get hit through any kind of damage. Here we have different kinds of things like kind of working out an interface. You know, it's that too is a work in progress. I don't know much about interfaces yet, and this seems to be doing the job right now. We have our set direction, so if we go into here, we have various things that tells us which way we're going and whether it's up, down, left, or right. So that's when I go into the game. Let's see how he's facing this way and facing this way and facing this way. We can do different things when they're facing different directions, and the same with sprint. We can run faster when we're sprinting because we can set a different animation, a faster animation, to when he's sprinting. So from here, these selects will pick between the flip books, idle, running, sprinting. So there's different ones, and we have essentially true or false on which or which isn't. So yeah, it's getting quite complex now. So I have different projectiles. I'm only using these two for the time being. So we have the blood ball. So if we go into here, we can see this thing. I made this thing. It's pretty interesting. It's just a blood ball, and I nicked the other one online. So this one has a particle emitter. It's nice. It's nice. Looks cool. Anyhow, all together, it makes our little shooty animation. I think since everything looks dark, it's still working with some kind of lighting. I'm not too sure what I'll go with yet. Will I just give everything a normal map and then be able to cast shadows that way, or will I go with some fake lighting that I coded in? So if we check this out back here, so this fake light, it's very complex, but it isn't as complex as it looks. Essentially, all we're doing is tracing a line by or a line trace by channel in a 360-degree circle, and whether or not it's hitting anything or not. And it's simple 2D shadows, like simple ray tracing, you know. And we can control how many triangles are in the polygons and the distance. So basically, the distance of this fake light. What else do I have here? So the different UIs. We have our level up screen, our health UI, and stamina and experience is all in this one. We have the enemy slime and the portal health. Since they're two different variables, they have to be done differently. Because the portal has 10 hit points, it needs to divide by 10. It just works easier that way. And we have our simple light flame, so every time we go close to the light flame, I don't know, let's see if we can find it. Oh, perfect, it's right beside us. So here, every time we go close to here, we get this thing. So light flame, that's a thing that when we get close to, we can see it. but I need to make it so it actually does something when I press E. Right now, all I do when I press E is it spawns a portal. Right now the portal doesn't actually do anything because I haven't thought about what it does. I made the map sizes much smaller, so if we go into, we won't see it there. Different levels here, so new map, this is the one we want. So in here I made this much smaller. Ugh, that's annoying. So here, and let's see, we simulate this. Boom. Now it just does a 5x5 grid reference, so the empty blocks are where like enemies are spawning and whatnot, but it will definitely have a level end. So there it is. There's the end level. Now this is what it kind of looks like when I'm doing this. So I'm kind of just making the game on a 3D/2D plane. Now I don't know, is this efficient or not? It's still my first game, but this is how they're working, and I'm kind of just using different kind of cylindrical hitboxes. I guess I could make that thing spawn a lot lower. That's kind of a very high up spawn. But yeah, being able to see the game like this, I can think about it more in a 3D. Build it up, because when I just play from here, it's all top down. You can see it all looks, it all works, you know what I mean? So I don't know why this is so dark. I'm trying to work on lighting, so I have to for the third time, but it's so far. I did no coding today. I will say I did. Apart from trying to make a fake light and stuff, today has been wasted on making the game look bad. So hopefully tomorrow I'll have found something to make this game look nicer. Another thing I realized is, or I found, is when too many of these spawn, the game lags. So yeah, when too many of these spawns, the game lags. So I have them set on a timer. So like I think it says every 60 seconds they're gonna spawn some dudes. I didn't even know I could walk on that. See, I'm up on the tree now, they can't see me. If this was 3D, I'd have gone up in elevation. I'm waiting out the timer so I can see if essentially see how many enemies it takes to crash the game. It shouldn't take too long, because yeah, I wonder what's doing that. See? Is it because I've made the whole game out of BluePrints? I wonder. And some actors who got stuck, great, or some creators.